again. Facebook people, how you doing? Yeah, it's me again. That pesky old lady just coming at you, coming at you. Sit back, take your pants off, whatever you want to do. But we are having a show today that you're going to love. Whether you watch it right now or you're watching it later than what we were when we were live, or if you watch it on my YouTube, which just happens to be comedian Linda Marcus Smith, shout out, that's fine. Just subscribe. Next time you need a comedian, you might want to hire our next guest. He is fabulous. He is everything and then some. He is who he is off and on stage. You're going to love him. He won a couple of festivals you might have heard of, the World Series of Comedy, whoop, whoop, and he won the Boston Comedy Festival. That's for serious writers, am I right? Oh my gosh, Boston, holy Toledo. You guys, welcome him here to Comic Spot interview number 916. Don't get old, 916. Sorry, you weren't my first. Welcome to the stage, comedian Landry. Woo!
Hey, what's up? I honestly, I thought I was closer to the beginning. I didn't realize I was 900 comics in. I didn't even know there was 900 comics to interview, to be honest with you. So good for you, Linda. Thank you for having me. Thank you for making me feel special.
Yeah, nobody wanted me to interview them ever until I interviewed Sinbad, and then everybody's like, knock knock, hello.
Oh, very cool. Well, good. I'm glad. I'm good. I'm happy to be here. I'm very far away from you, so I'm glad we could do this over Zoom.
I know. Let me show them our matching kitchens.
Yeah. That's it. Yours is a little brighter. Mine still looks like a prison.
We have these walls that are made out of pink cinder block in our apartment complex.
Yep.
Pink is like to tone us down and make us not want to kill ourselves. It's off.
Is it pink? I thought it was beige.
It has a scent of pink in there. I don't know.
Well, I know. Wait, let's go with mauve. Mauve? Is that how you say it? I've been saying mauve my whole life. My entire life, I've been saying mauve. Is this seriously? Is it mauve for real?
That's what us boomers have called it.
I feel like I've disappointed.
Mauve makes sense. Probably the French say mauve.
Oh, well, that makes me feel better. I'm from Canada, so maybe that's where I got it from.
That's it. That's it. Okay, so let's talk about. I go in a certain order. You're right now in Vegas. And I don't know if you heard, but we went through this thing called a pandemic.
Oh, excuse me? Is that some sort of a pastry? What is it? A pandemic? I'll take 2 pandemics to go, please. Yeah, it sucked. We all struggled through that.
How did it affect you? Like, do you have a Twitch now, or like, are you better able to relate to hecklers? What is the good and the bad that came out of it for you?
I guess the bad was that I was finally talked into moving to LA by all my friends. They're like, yo, you need to make a shot. You got to take a shot at it. You've been doing this for 14 years or 13 years at that point. You might as well, take a plunge. And I was like, all right, man, you're right. This is the time. So I went to LA, got an apartment in Hollywood or North Hollywood, furnished it, all that stuff. And then the pandemic hit 3 weeks later. And it was the worst timing. And I'm paying $2,000 a month for rent and can't do any comedy. So that's why I moved to Vegas. I just picked up and left. That's probably the bad side of it. But to be honest with you, that year off was kind of a good recharge for me, because I've been hitting the road for a decade and it was tough, all the travel. It was nice to just kind of get grounded. It sucked not being able to work and pay bills, but at the same time, you got to take the good with the bad, like you said, and just build from it.
Yeah. Did you have friends and relatives that got COVID bad?
Not. I think everybody got it, but we were very fortunate. I got it in this November of 2020, so I think everybody's gonna get it at least once if they haven't already gotten it. I know people that have gotten it 3, 4 times already. Yeah, they're like, I got every variant. I'm like, are you sure you're not creating them? Like, I don't. Please don't shake my hand. You're a dirty person.
Some people are getting it more often than they're getting lucky.
I know, isn't that a shame? That is just it's just so easily transmissible. But we're back. We're back in Vegas. It's back to full strength, I think.
Yes. So let's go back into your childhood. Let's take a DeLorean and a flux capacitor. And
Oh gosh, okay.
what were you like to your siblings and your parents, and what were you like in school? I can't vision that.
My grandparents raised me until I was in the 4th grade, and then I moved back in with my mom. But I was quiet. I was a really quiet kid, introverted, nerd. I played a lot of video games. Didn't have a whole lot of friends till I got to high school. We grew up in the country, my grandparents. So I was like, they were my friends. Like they were the only people I knew. I didn't just live with seniors. I lived as a senior. Like I was going to the chiropractor, and I don't even know if my bones had fully solidified yet. Like, I'm baking at 7. I was the original bake like TV show because I was with my grandmother the whole time. So I don't know. I guess I was kind of funny. My grandfather was a very funny man, and he was my inspiration for a lot of the way I go about doing life, because he was always living life to the fullest. That dude partied right to the end, and I like that mentality. You know what I'm saying? But I was a class clown, I guess, in high school. But that's just because I didn't want to go to school. I didn't want to be there, so I would rather just sit in the office than be in class. That was kind of where I was at. But I had a lot of smart friends who got me through high school. So
what made you go into comedy?
You know what's interesting? I never had an aspiration of being a comedian when I was a kid. I always thought I was gonna do something with entertainment. I didn't know what it was gonna be. When I was in like probably the 5th, 6th, 7th grade, I was winning all these speech competitions. I was going in front of hundreds of people, and it never occurred to me that I didn't get stage fright like a lot of other people did. And I was just up there talking to 300 people about karate or video games or whatever, you know what I mean? So I guess it was always in me from a young age, but I didn't know I was going to be a comedian until till late in my 20s, when I was living in Atlanta, and I went to go see Bill Burr perform at the Punchline. And just watching him one night, it kind of just clicked something in my brain. And I've been doing it probably ever since then.
Wow. So is Bill Burr the guy that you made you fall in love with comedy, or were there others before him?
I always watched Comic View. There's a lot of comics I used to enjoy watching, but he was my very first live show, but I had always liked Bill Burr. So I was like, he's coming to town, let me go see him. And when I saw it live for the first time, that's when it really started to click with me. I was like, I want to try this. This is amazing. Just the way that he was almost like a puppeteer. The way he had the crowd, he was just bringing them where he wanted to bring them. It was beautiful.
Wow. So at that time, we have a Vegas guy, Rick D'Elia.
Yeah.
Rick, whatever his last name is. Yeah, he opens for him. Do you know Rick?
I don't know him. I know the name. I think I think he runs a room on Fremont, doesn't he? Or he used to.
He did. And I went to visit the Laugh Factory with Stephen Pearl, my buddy. I went there just to watch Stephen Pearl, and I was in the green room with Stephen, just friends. No room, friends. And Rick says, "Do you want to go on stage?" And I'm like, okay, I said, sure. I didn't know what I was going to say, but I'm not turning it down. So he goes and asks, he comes back with his tail between his legs. Like, they shut that shit down so
yeah. Fast. Oh, at the Laugh Factory, yeah, Harry don't allow, I don't even know if they allow guest spots in that place.
Not unless you're like years in and got connections. And
yeah.
I mean, it's for legends.
It's a good club. I mean, the only club that really gives guest spots is LA Comedy. Excuse me. No, sorry about that.
I
I've been cleaning for 2 days because I've been gone for 2 months, and it's just this dust, and I'm allergic to dust. So
I'm
excuse
allergic.
me.
I have 2 pages worth of stuff I'm allergic to, so I get it. What
Two
is
pages.
it? Are you going to be sneezing when you're in an urn?
No, but I hope that I make people sneeze from my urn. If that makes sense.
So you were gone on a cruise ship for a long time, and now you're back to your apartment.
Yes.
And there's a lot of stuff that has to pile up, like mail, and somebody threw out a really cool desk yesterday, and I picked it up, and it's in my bedroom now.
Really? That was mine. You got my desk. I have no room for it. I
was like, what am I gonna do if he walks by while I'm schmecking it into my apartment?
It's hilarious. No, man. That's why I didn't put it in the trash, because I didn't want to throw it in the trash. I was like, if somebody wants it, they can take it. So I'm glad. I should have asked to begin with.
It looks like a desk, and then on the right, it looks like a cat tree.
Yes, it does. But I have no cat, so you need a cat.
And a couple squares of carpet, and I'm good.
Very cool.
So you've been doing comedy how long? Like 14, 15 years you've been grinding?
Yeah, around there. About that.
And the very first time you got on stage, I'm doing a Jiminy Glick. So who are you?
Yeah, first time I went on stage was I signed up for a comedy class. It was just like a 6-week course. Local comic headliner, he's headlined back in the 80s. Now he teaches comedy. I took the class, and so at the end of the 6 weeks, you go in front of a live audience of your friends and family. Everybody invites their people, and you go do 5 minutes. It's a very gentle initiation into comedy, because everybody's there to laugh and be friendly. It's not like a true open mic. And then after that, I didn't do comedy for a while. I was moving from Canada. I moved back to Canada and then moved back again. But once I came back to America, I just started hitting open mics, and I started in Atlanta, and I got to be honest with you, it was one of the best experiences. It was the best city for me to grow up in, because there were so many different rooms, and they really supported the arts. But then you also didn't have to be a bringer. There was no bringer shows, which is nice. You just show up, and people were there. You know what I mean? You didn't have to like bark, please come see me do 2 minutes. I'll give you $1 if you come. You know what I mean? Like you don't have to do that. So I was very fortunate early on. I got a lot of reps.
That's great. What's the biggest lesson you've learned? What to do, what not to do in comedy?
I don't know. I'm still learning, Linda. I don't know the biggest lesson. I guess
okay,
I don't know the biggest lesson.
Goodbye.
Is that it? Okay, bye. Is our time over? I feel like it's over. I don't I don't know. I don't know what the biggest lesson is. I think I learn every year something else. I got to tell you, I learn something about myself that I didn't know. You know what I mean? I guess the one thing I stuck true to over the course of my career is I do me. I just do my comedy, and it's not for everybody, but I enjoy it. It's the way I like to deliver it. It's the way I like to perform. And the people that like it. The people that don't. But I've been cool with that from early on. And I've missed out on a lot of opportunities because I didn't want to do comedy. I didn't want to do it the way they wanted me to do it. I wanted to do it the way I felt comfortable doing it. And I lost out on a lot of things, but I also got a lot out of it. So, I think you just guys be true to yourself, find your own voice. And I think I'm zeroing in on that. I think I know how I like to write jokes now, like how I like to perform them. And then you just got to try to get better every time you get on stage. Try something new. I always try stuff new every time I get on stage.
Tell me why, when I'm watching you do comedy, I'm seeing Sinbad in you.
I don't know. I've never seen Sinbad.
Really?
Yeah, I've never seen him perform. I've seen a show. I mean, his sitcom, but I haven't watched his stand-up.
It's so much like you, the footwork, the laughing with the audience.
Nice.
Just being yourself. There's so much of Sinbad in you.
Well, I appreciate that because he's an old school gangster when it comes to comedy, man. He's been around for a long time, and I've actually, you know what? I think my therapist said that too. I think, are you my therapist? I, I actually, you know what's funny? I think my therapist has said that to me at one point. Have you ever seen Sinbad? Because you remind me of him. I'm like, no, I don't. I don't know Sinbad. That's hilarious. Maybe I got to check it out.
Yeah, that'd be cool. So yeah, so what you've done comedy around the country. Have you done it outside of the country, like for the troops or?
No, but I've been to Australia. I've been to the UK. That's pretty much it. I'd like to go to South Africa. I'd like to go to New Zealand and do it. Anywhere that speaks English, I'm okay. Like I think I'd be okay with.
I
But it's
think
fun.
my stuff would go over better where they don't speak English.
Maybe, I don't know. Here's the thing. I will say this: going around and seeing comedy in different countries, it's very interesting to watch because everybody does it a little differently. And I sometimes I just go to shows, I just sit at the back and just see what the people are laughing at. And a lot of times when I was in like London and I'm watching the comedy and they're delivering, puns and whatever, the witty stuff that they enjoy. I was like, man, I don't know if that would work in America. I don't know. I don't know if that would work. I watched a guy do 10 minutes of puns and absolutely destroy the room. And I was like, this is the most magical thing I've ever seen in my life.
I gotta go. Holy Toledo. Have I got puns for them?
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I mean, if you got some puns, bring it.
I did not know that.
Yeah. Cross the pond, you'll be a hit.
And America will be begging for me.
That's what happens, man. Yeah, you got to get big on other places sometimes.
Yeah. So what do you want to accomplish in your comedy life before you kick the bucket?
Well, I'm doing it now. I wanted to do this interview. And now I can quit comedy.
I asked for it.
Yeah, I don't know, man. You know what? I have a lot of things I'm trying to do. I'm writing some things. I'd like to go on some auditions and see if I can get on some television stuff. But that's why I'm kind of off ships now. I did my stint. I put in my time, and now I got some money saved up, and I'm gonna try to get to the next level. Try to get seen by somebody because I got the skill set. I've been honing this art form for a long time. I can hold my own in most crowds. So I think it's time.
Like if you're gonna have a stint, wait until you're 80 and they put it in your heart.
I don't know if I'll make it that long, but I better start soon. That's all I say.
What do you think of comics that always go up on stage and say they're getting so old, and then somebody like me is sitting there go, yeah, right, tell me about it?
I mean, it probably benefits you. I mean, if you follow people like that, you're like, yo, I don't know what you're talking about. This guy's nothing. I got panties older than this man. The newest thing I have is this desk I found in the trash. I said,
oh my gosh. Well, what would you like to say to people? I don't want to keep you on here all day, but I don't want you to go, man, I wish she would have asked me, or I wish I could have said. What would you like to say to the 2 or 3 people that are going to watch this?
I guess I always ask people to support the art form, man. It's always nice to watch it on Netflix. That's always cool in your comfort of your own home. But there's nothing like going out and seeing a live comedy show. So you got to make a point to just go out and enjoy that now that you can again. You know what I mean? We don't know if that's going to get taken away at any point in time. So go have fun, man. Enjoy live performance because there's nothing, you can't simulate that in your living room.
Oh. So where are you going to be performing?
I'm in Glendale next week.
Glendale, California or Arizona?
No, Arizona at Stir Crazy Comedy. It's my first weekend there. And then I think the week after I'm in Colorado Springs at Looney's. And those are my next 2 local gigs. Wonderful.
Where do you want people to follow you so you get bigger, more famous, so you can?
Everything is under my name, comedian Landry, Landry. I got everything. Instagram's my favorite, but
is it?
I'm on the other platforms. Yeah.
Why is Instagram your favorite?
They don't censor as much, so I can say what I want and it doesn't get flagged.
I did not know that.
Yeah, it's better. I think it's better, but yeah, it all depends what you're trying to do.
What's the funniest thing that's ever happened to you in your comedy career? And then we'll kind of go off for the day.
Oh my gosh,
Sure.
the funniest thing that's ever happened to me in my comedy career. A man wanted me arrested on a cruise ship once. I thought that was hilarious. Yeah, for talking to him during the show. He went to go get ship security, and he wanted security to put me in jail. And I was laughing so hard. I thought it was the funniest thing. I go, first off, nobody gets street cred by going to ship jail. So let's just stop right there. But who goes to a comedy show and then tries to arrest somebody, get somebody arrested in the middle of the ocean? You got to be having a bad day. You know what I mean? You think way too much of yourself if that's how you go about your days, getting people arrested in international waters.
You want to hear about how I almost got arrested trying to do comedy?
Was it back in the 70s? Did you take your shirt off?
I was burning bras.
Let's hear this. I gotta hear this.
Like 3 years ago, like I got this thing where I want to do comedy for where the veterans are at in hospitals, nursing homes. So there's a nursing home by my place. So I said, I want to come do comedy weekly. Oh, fill out this paperwork. So I did. And they sent me to get my fingerprints, right?
Yeah.
Well, I've scrubbed so many toilets. I've been a maid. I've done my time. And I don't got no fingerprints, evidently. I didn't know it. Why would I go get a fingerprint thing if I'm a fugitive? Right?
Oh, wow, yeah.
I submit to a fingerprint thing, comes back that they couldn't. So they got this frontline lady, and she says, oh, I went there. She goes, you can come on in and do comedy today. And then I get there and she goes, wait, your fingerprints, it came back, you didn't pass. You need to leave right now. And I'm like, well, wait a minute. Can't you just do a manual one where like a machine didn't pick it up, but like a human being can tell these are my fingers and there's another way to identify.
Yeah.
She's like, if you don't get out of here, we're going to call I almost got arrested because I didn't take no for an answer.
Wow. So basically you'd be a great spy right now is what you're saying. You don't need comedy when you could be Austin Powers. Come on now. Like, you don't have fingerprints? You know how gangster that is? People pay good money to have no fingerprints. I don't know if you know that.
This has to go into my comedy. No fingerprint, Linda.
No finger. Yeah, you don't leave no evidence of where you've done comedy. That's the way to do it. Nobody needs to know when you've touched the microphone. Nobody. That's what it is. That's perfect. They'd be like, where were you, Linda? You're like, I don't know. Where was I? Were you at the comedy club? I don't know. Maybe. We're gonna test the mic for fingerprints. So you go ahead and do that. You go ahead and you do that. We'll see. You're gonna find Ty Rivera all over that microphone.
Who was that lady that murdered or Bob? I'd be like the Lone Ranger of comedy.
Yeah, man. You're a fugitive on the run. You go city to city. Oh, how fun would that be? How fun would that be?
Well, this is about the end of the interview, and you've been such a delight. He lives a couple doors away from me,
yes.
So I can see him all the time. I see him when he's taking really cool stuff to the trash. Thank you so much, Landry.
Hey, I appreciate
Comedian
it.
Landry.
Later, Linda. Thank you. Take it
Love
easy.
you, bye.
Love you. Bye.
Love you. Bye.